I bow to all the seekers of truth. At the very outset, we have to know that truth is what it is. We cannot conceptualize it. We cannot change it. We cannot buy it. And also, unfortunately, at this human level, we cannot know it. The truth is that you are not this body, this mind, this intellect, this ego, these conditionings, but you are the pure spirit. The second truth is that there is all-pervading power of divine love, which is very subtle and which works out all the living work. You see all these beautiful flowers here, and we take them for granted. We never even think from where have they come, how have they come, from a one little seed, how, and so many varieties, so many types, how they have been created and how they grow and how a flower becomes a fruit. Look at ourselves, look at our eye. It's one of the greatest cameras you could think of. Look at every machinery that is within us, how it is working beautifully. But we do not think about it, we take it for granted. All this living work is done by this all-pervading power of divine love. Now when I say that, we need not accept me blindfolded. But I would request you to have a scientific mind. Have a scientific attitude that you keep yourself open. Treat this as a hypothesis. And if it is proved, then you have to accept it as truth. If you are honest. Because it is not only for individual emancipation, but for the emancipation of the whole world. As I have told you that truth cannot be understood or felt at this human level because we are mental at the most, if not emotional, or we are a mixture of both. We are a bundle of conditionings and egos and everything, but we are not ourselves. When we say my ego, my intelligence, my body, but where is this my? From where does this word my comes? This is what is the spirit within us. You have been already explained about the mechanism we have here. And you have been already told this kind of a mechanism exists within us. Remove this one would be better, I think. Now this mechanism does exist within us and is for your last breakthrough in your evolutionary process. You have become from amoeba to a human state. But we have not yet known the absolute truth. We have not yet known the absolute knowledge. It's all right. It's not, that's a joke. I thought what had happened that you were shouting at me. Just a joke. Just keep it in the proper way. What's the system you follow? There should be some name or something. All right, now can you see that? It's just for your seeing, we are managing something. All right. But this is all within yourself. It's all within yourself which is not going to fall out. So, we have this mechanism, as I told you, for your last breakthrough. If you had known the absolute truth, and if we had the absolute knowledge, there would have been no quarreling, no different isms, there would have been no wars. But because we haven't got that, we are separated by ignorance. And everybody thinks I am right. Whatever I am doing is the correct thing, and whatever I am thinking is the correct. But there is no way to judge whether it is correct or not. Like when you say it's 1 meter long, then we have a meter, as you know, in the Museum of Paris, which is kept as 1 meter all the time. But that, unless and until you discover, we are living in a relative world without any absolute relativity. That's why there is chaos. That's why there are problems. Most of the problems, if you see, are created by human beings. These problems, if you just try to locate, are just based because we haven't found out the absolute knowledge. For example, if this place is completely dark and you can't see anyone, and if you start all running, you'll hit someone, somebody will fall down, somebody will be beaten up, somebody might get hurt. Because there is darkness, there is confusion. These are the days of the greatest confusion that we are born in. And it's promised that in those days of confusion only you are going to find out the truth. That's why there is a category of people, as William Blake has said, are the men of God, who will find themselves and they will make others the men of God. The time has come for you all to have your self-realization, your self-knowledge. As a result of that, you develop a new awareness. You develop, again I say, it's question of becoming, it is not certifying. You develop a new awareness on your central nervous system, which we call as collective consciousness, which is described by Jung very clearly. This is where you can feel your centers on your fingertips, and you can feel the centers of other people on your fingertips. Now, only thing you have to do is to know what do they denote. This decoding has been done already, and how to correct it. So, to correct your being, physically, mentally, emotionally, and also spiritually, you have to enter inside your being, which you cannot. For example, you are paying attention to me. But if I say pay attention to yourself, you cannot. You cannot pay attention to yourself inside, so something has to happen, and this something is the awakening of this residual power which we call as Kundalini. It's a Sanskrit word. Kundal means the coils, and is there in 3.5 coils. This energy is settled down. If this energy is awakened, just like a primule in a seed, it's a living process. Just like a seed sprouts, this Kundalini gets awakened, passes through 6 centers, pierces through the last one, and you yourself feel the cool breeze coming out of your head. And then for the first time you start feeling this cool breeze. It's not very cool, it's very pleasantly cool, which is the all-pervading power of divine love. With this you become like a divine computer. You can feel the centers which are in trouble within yourself. You can feel the centers of people around. You can feel the centers of people who are far away. Also the centers of people who are dead and gone. That's how you can know who was the realized soul who came on this earth and who was a nasty fellow and who was a devil. Otherwise, there is no way of making out. For example, from India, people get out of the jail, immediately they wear these saffron colored clothes and are in Australia. They become big gurus. And Australians had a lot of money and they have really fed them with that. So many of them are coming down, but not so many, because so many are exposed also. So many are in jail. So many have died. But still, they can say that the world is coming to an end and you must do this is happening and you must do that, and just frightening. And you think otherwise, you see, how can they tell lies? But they are thieves. They are coming from the jail direct to find out their bona fides. From what kind of families they come. What sort of education they have had. But blindfolded, people go to them and get infected by them. Mostly they are mesmerizers and they spoil your chances of your ascent. Not only that, they can give you some diseases, they can give you some sort of a brain. You might have an effect of taking a drug. Anything can they do. I don't know to what extent they can go, because so many have come to me and I'm really now fed up the way people are still running after them, paying them money. It's something like, you see, some people coming out of the pub and falling down on the street and others trying to push their way inside to get again the same way. But in spirituality you have to know that you cannot pay. It's a living process of living energy. It's a living process. We'll just take photographs afterwards, all right? Yeah. So the second thing that should happen to you as a result of self-realization, that you get empowered yourself. You yourself can give realizations to others. You can find out about another person. You can give them realization. You can cure them. You can help them in every way possible. It's like one enlightened light can enlighten another light. You are all ready for it. Absolutely ready to get enlightened. I don't have to do much. You will see that, how easily you all can get your realization. It has to be easy. It has to be sahaj. It has to be spontaneous, because the time has come. And also this all-pervading power has become extremely active, and it is working wonders everywhere. When the Kundalini rises on this center, then you reach a state which we call as thoughtless awareness, in Sanskrit called as Nirvichar Samadhi. When you watch something, you just watch, you don't think. If you want to think, you can think, but you are not bombarded by thoughts. You are not under the control of thoughts. When she rises above and pierces through here and establishes her connection properly, then you get into another kind of a higher awareness we call as Nirvikalpa Samadhi, which is a doubtless awareness, in which you start raising the Kundalini of others, curing others, helping others, knowing such a lot of knowledge, because once this Kundalini goes into the limbic area, she enlightens these 1,000 petals there, that is the 1,000 nerves. Many children I've seen who have been absolutely very dull children now are scoring above everybody else, getting scholarships. We have some boys who have done their engineering or chartered accountancy and all these things in very, very record time. They have records. They always stand first and they're doing very well in their education. But despite all that, they are extremely humble and obedient. They respect their teachers, they respect everyone, because the new virtue which is come in them is the respect, to respect others, which we have lost long time back. The second thing that happens to a person is this, that you become absolutely free. Of course, in the beginning also, I respect your freedom. I cannot force self-realization on you. You have to ask for it. Otherwise, I cannot force it on you. But when you get your self-realization, you become really free in the sense that you are able to be free. Like we think we are free, but we have addictions. We are slaves to so many things. We cannot control ourselves, so we are not free. But when you become a self-realized person, all such things which dominate us, whether it's addiction, alcoholism, any habit, any such thing, tempers, or too much interest in wrong things, all drops out. And you become really an able person. Absolutely, you have the ability to be enjoying your freedom and your virtues. Then it happens that you start seeing everything, as I told you, and not getting into thoughts. The human nature is such that whatever you see, you react. But after getting self-realization, you do not react, and your mind is thoughtless. It's like a lake which has no ripples on it. And all that is created around that lake is reflected inside in the same way. When you watch something, you just watch it. Now I watch these flowers, I'm just watching, and all the joy that the Creator has put it in it doesn't come to me as words, but as joy itself, and it starts pouring on me, and it soothes me down. You become a person without tensions, because tension comes to you through thoughts. But thoughts are coming from the past or from the future, and they throng your head and give you this tension. When the Kundalini rises, she comes in between two thoughts. So the future and past, the Kundalini is in the center, that is in the present. So you just stand in the present, and when you are in the present, there is no tension in your mind. These days there's a big trouble people are having of tensions, blood pressures, and all kinds of things, which are absolutely there because this window has not yet opened out. Once it has opened out, everything goes away and you are extremely a relaxed person. You also reduce at least 10 years of your age. As you know, I am 68 years of age and I am traveling every third or fourth day all over the world. So you get very dynamic and you get such a lot of energy within you. At the same time, you are very compassionate, you are very considerate, and you are extremely wise. In every way you are helped. You are helped in your business, you are helped in your work, you are helped in your relationship in your family, with others, and the whole thing becomes like a beautiful drama you are playing. I am telling all these things sound very fantastic to you, and should find, because you might say we have never seen such angels before. But there is a chance for all of you to become that. Supposing you take a television into a remote village of India, where they have never seen a television, and tell them that you can see pictures from all over the world inside this. They'll say, what, this box, useless thing, how can it be? But when you put it to the mains, then they see the miracles of it. In the same way, when you are put to the mains, you start seeing the miracles of your being. Then you understand how glorified you are, how beautiful you are, and what is the purpose of your life. There's no end to this knowledge. For example, there are so many lights I see here, but to put them on, there might be only one switch and you can put on all the lights. But supposing I have to tell you all the history, how it came and how the electricity came and then how it was brought in Melbourne and how it was fixed and everything, it's quite boring. So the best thing is just to put on the light first. So I would request you, you better have your self-realization first and then understand, because it's a very subtle subject and I don't know how many thousand lectures I have given only in English language. There are many other languages I speak, but only in English language I don't know how many lectures I have given. And every time they say, Mother, every time you say something new. I'm giving you thus an introduction to Sahaja Yoga. Now, once you get your realization, you have to know it works on collectivity. It's not that you go home and say, all right, Mother, I'm meditating at home. It would be like a nail cut out of the body. You don't have to pay for anything, but you have to give some time for your self-realization and you have to come to the collective. Luckily in Melbourne we have wonderful people who have achieved great heights in Sahaja Yoga. They are extremely humble, they are extremely beautiful people. And I'm sure they'll help you to achieve the same heights as they have achieved. This is what we have to get. We have to emancipate the human beings to solve all our problems, to enter into the kingdom of God. This is being promised, and this promise has to be fulfilled. Of course, before I go ahead with the process of self-realization, which will take 10 minutes only, I would request you to ask me questions. But ask relevant questions, questions which show your curiosity to get your realization, because I am not here for any votes, nor am I here for any money. I am here to give you your own key of your own treasures. So accordingly, please ask me questions. I'll be very thankful to you. May God bless you. Just may I have some water? Yes, please.
He says he thinks he's reaching that stage. Could you tell him this?
What is it?
He says he thinks he is reaching that stage. Could you tell him
Thank you.
the symptoms
Yes. Could you tell him?
of his realization?
See, first what happens, that you start feeling the cool breeze out of your head. Sometimes you might get hot also, hot breeze coming up. Then you start feeling the cool breeze all around it. Then you become aware of it and you work it out. Then you give realizations to others. All these things happen and you become an extremely peaceful, loving, affectionate and a righteous person. You become. It's not like following any religion as such, because when we follow religion, we can commit any mistakes, any sins we can commit. But Sahaja Yoga says that religion is born within you, like here, as we have got 8 valencies within us, 10 valencies within us, and these 10 valencies are in this green part. When they are awakened, you become religious. You become. You are not to be told. You just become. I don't have to tell you, don't do this. I never say that. It just happens. Because you see in the light what is right and what is wrong.
He says, what is God for you, and is God a separate entity?
Yeah, He is. He is. And God for me is the one who is witnessing everything, but He has His power, which is the primordial mother, which is the Holy Ghost, which is reflected within you as the Kundalini. And God is reflected within you as the spirit in your heart. At this point they meet And that's how you get your self-realization. But such a wide subject it is, so you have to have more patience for such a wider subject.
Will there always be a time when the negative force in society will cease to exist?
Will there ever be?
Will there ever come a time when it will cease to
Will there ever come a time when the negative force in society will cease to exist?
Yes, of course, if you help us.
Which Indian saints or enlightened masters do you acknowledge as being enlightened? Or the ones that inspired you in your course?
Which Indian saints or masters do you acknowledge, or did any of them inspire you in your course?
Yeah, all of them were there, and there are some more, but they have all disappeared in the Himalayas. Because they say that these human beings are absolutely dullards and they won't listen to us. You try your luck. We have so many saints in India who are no more, who really came down to the masses. The first one who really ventured to talk to masses was Ganeshwara, Santa Ganeshwara. About Kundalini, it was written in so many Sanskrit books, so many of them, but never in a local or a vernacular language. So Ganeshwara in the 12th century first time talked about it. He took the permission of his master because it was the tradition to have one master and one disciple. And he wrote it about it in his book first of all. And today the time has come for you to get mass realization. There are so many saints that I really in this thing I cannot tell you, but there was Ramadasa, there is Nanaka, there is Kabira, so many of them. Adi Shankaracharya in India, as you asked, but outside also. William Blake was another saint.
Just I want to ask the differences between EMCD technique and EM, Transcendental Meditation CD technique, and also the your technique. I mean, because EMCD technique are also talking about self-realization by EMCD. And what is the difference between your technique and
He says that TM talks about self-realization. What is the difference between they're talking about self-realization and you talking about it?
Now they have started. They never talked about it before, and they are just talking. If I have to tell you everything frankly about TM, it's better that you listen to it. I'm not afraid of them. I had the head of their Siddha, what they call the Flying Academy, head of that, the director, one Mr. Peter Pierce, his wife, his deputy director and his child, all suffering from epilepsy, came to me. Luckily my husband was not at home those days, so I kept them in my house and treated them and got them well. He's about to write a book about it. Now I asked him, what do they do? So he told me, because he was in it, he said that they give 3 mantras. First day is to give 3 mantras. And these 3 mantras, they were to pay 3,000 pounds. Now these 3 mantras, out of them anyone could be yours. One was Inga, another was Pinga, another was Tinga. Now any Indian would laugh at it because they know these are not Sanskrit words. Inga means the scorpion bite. The Pinga means a person when he gets possessed, he goes around called Pinga. This is also in vernacular language, not in Sanskrit. And Tinga means showing like this. And they paid 3,000. Then. It's all marketing. People are so stupid. I mean, I have a disciple who came to me from TM. Her sister was in lunatic asylum. We had to work so hard on her. Now she's cured. This barrister girl, poor thing, she suffered so much. So many people have gone into recluses. She told me that she had to go to Switzerland, pay 6,000 pounds for a course of 7 days. And the first day they were given, this is for flying in the air. Now this is also another stupidity, to go for flying in the air halfway through. What is the need? As it is today, there was such a lot of jam. You see, if you start flying like this, then no car can move. What is the need for you to fly at 3 feet? But this is stupidity. And for that stupidity, she paid £6,000. And she had to go to Switzerland, and she said, no arrangements for us, nothing. We were to live in a big hall, and they asked us that we have to jump on, these foam mattresses, and she broke her bottom, and many broke their bottoms. And they were asked to give, they were given to drink the water that boiled the potatoes for 6 days. And the 7th day they were given the rain, and the 5th day the potatoes. For that they paid £6,000. She is the daughter of a very, very rich man. But this is what it is. If you have surplus money, there are people to befool you. There's a market. It's all marketing. Now they are marketing what you call Ayurveda. What is there to market Ayurveda? You can buy things directly from India. You don't need a guru for that. And most of the Ayurveda cannot be practiced abroad because these are made out of fresh leaves. But if you have to treat yourself with Ayurveda, you can go to India. But Sahaja Yoga is a direct method that you can cure yourself with your Kundalini awakening. There are 2 doctors in Delhi University who have got their MD on Sahaja Yoga, which proved that Sahaja Yoga can cure many incurable diseases. We have cured, not that I have cured, but people are cured through Sahaja Yoga. Diseases like blood cancer, mellitus, so many diseases have been cured, and there are so many that I really do not know how to even keep account. We never keep account of them. So this is what TM is. Whatever they talk, they should prove it. Have you met any TM fellow who can give realizations to others? Or who can talk like Stephen? There is no modus operandi. There is no modus operandi they can describe. Nothing. On the contrary, if you are a doctor, you can find them out just like that. Once in a lecture, there was a Sahaja who is now head of the psychology department in Amman. He was there in their meetings, and they said that when you take the brain scan, you see the theta waves. Immediately got up, he said, but you get it with epilepsy. You get it with epilepsy. And they were shocked. They just got round him. He said, doctor, will you come and have some tea with us? And then he went there, and they were offering him money and all that. It's all money business. If you have intelligence, you can understand it. That it's all money. You cannot purchase it. How much money did you give to Christ? How much money did you give to Krishna or to Rama or to any one of them? Those people whom you can purchase are your servants. They cannot be your gurus.
I was in City Yoga for several years, and I had a lot of problems.
You will, but I know that. I'll manage that. It's very difficult, but I'll manage. I know. With all these yogas, you get nothing but trouble. And I know that.
I tend to get very sleepy and tired, and meditation makes me even sleepier and more tired, and problems.
I know that. I'll help you, don't you worry. I'll help you, all right? Definitely. I know this is not only your case, it's so many. But in Australia, he was so popular. I don't know why he was so popular here. You are supposed to be much more intelligent than normal people. Aren't you?
What are your views on eating meat?
Sorry?
What is Manachi's views on meat eating? Eating meat?
Eating meat?
Yeah, self-realization.
What are your views on eating meat?
Huh?
Well, that's vegetarianism.
You see, in Sahaja Yoga, we treat a person according to his need. Supposing you need proteins, you have to have proteins. Supposing you need more carbohydrates, you have to have carbohydrates. It's a balancing thing. By eating meat or anything, you think if you save the chickens, can I give them realization? Simple question. So we are paying too much attention to all nonsensical things. What we have to think, what we are human beings on top of everything. Of course, some people don't have to eat meat because they have problems. But some people have to eat meat because they have problems. We have to be logical about everything. These are all facts or isms. These are facts. Don't do this, wear this kind of a dress, go on the street and sing Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, or do another nonsensical thing, or jump here. These are all facts and fashions. The fashion started that you should put a tin on your head and tie up your hair, bouffant or something. Everybody started doing that. We must have our individuality, we should have our personality. How can we accept anything that comes in the way? And these entrepreneurs are playing with you, so these gurus are also playing with you. We should be alert now. We have already suffered a lot, haven't we?
What's your opinion of Swami Muktananda?
Better not ask. You know, I've got just now a complete file on him. From America, they have published, he's such a horrible man. If you want, you can read it, but I assure you, you won't be able to eat food for at least 8 days. He had relations with even 13-year-old girls. What are you asking about a Swami like that? Useless fellow. Another horrible person. He is giving you diamonds. Who has given diamonds to us? Who wants diamonds? From where does he get diamonds? You know that very well. He gets even Swiss watches. People are so stupid. You are talking of spirituality and of God, not of these mundane things. If you want, you can go in the market and get a diamond. Even if you don't get, doesn't matter. Those who have it or have not, nothing wrong with them. Look at their faces, how they look. I tell you, how can you be enamored by these things? You always talk of materialism, you talk against it, and then you get enamored by these people because they are in America. When I went there in Boston, can you imagine, Americans are the best for this. That they asked me, how many Rolls Royces you have? I said, I have none. They said, then we are not interested in you. Can you imagine? If you are going to impress by these things, you are not going to get to the real thing, it's definite. These all things can be bought by money, but you cannot buy reality with money. Take it from me. Cannot. It has to happen. It's a fact. I'm telling you the truth, whether you like it or not.
The energy field that is built up tonight by the raising of the Kundalini. Is there an energy field that is built up by the raising of the Kundalini or mass? And does it spill over into another area?
I think, you see, before describing it, you better feel it, all right? What's the use of describing the beautiful Australia unless until you visit it? Better feel it yourself, and then you will know, all right? Yes?
I have a relation whose Kundalini isn't completely right, and she gets the feeling that she wants to do something about it but doesn't know what, because it's uncomfortable, and she wondered what she could do. She said that when she studied a long time ago, it was giving her a heavy feeling on her head, and she couldn't get rid of that feeling.
With whom did she do this Kundalini awakening? With whom?
I don't know,
Must be somebody like that. You see, Kundalini is your mother, all right? And she is anxious to give you a second birth. She works it out herself beautifully, like your mother gave you the birth without giving you any trouble. That's how she works it out. But if you go to a person who is not authorized spiritually, they do all these things. I have not seen, now as they must have told you, that we are working in about 54 nations. I must have visited at least 45 of them. I have never seen anybody suffering because of Kundalini awakening. On the contrary, feeling very much better. This is what it is. You must see, first of all, when you go to somebody, what about the disciples? How are they? How are they behaving? Are they beautiful people? Have they achieved anything? Have they got anything? And also you must see the life of the so-called guru. How does he live? Where is his interest? But headlong, if you fall into something, you are going to suffer, isn't it? Now, I've been coming to Australia for the last, from the year 78, I think, 77 or 78. But I saw all the people were scattered around these people, not around me. They all like them, all such kinds. They won't come to me. Even some people advised me that you better charge some money. I said, how much will you pay? Tell me. This is invaluable. You can't pay for it.
Would you please suggest anything that would help her now that she's in that situation, please?
Doesn't matter, we have people there also. You give us her address, we'll find out for her. Australia and Iceland quite close, isn't it? But sweet of you to remember her.
When she meditates, she feels the Kundalini rising, but suddenly it drops down again. How does she keep it up?
You have been in Sahaja Yoga? Did you get your realization through Sahaja Yoga?
I don't think so.
You see, we do not take responsibility of people who have been to other places. But if you have been in Sahaja Yoga, then we can find out why it is happening. If you have got your realization through Sahaja Yoga, we know, and we can help you very much better. All right? Then it's our responsibility. It does happen sometimes, because if you have problems in your brain or maybe in your body, there is some disease where the Kundalini wants to help, may be happening, but it can be expedited, it can be cleared out. These are all the problems which can be solved. You should have patience with yourself, that's all.
Levels of samadhi and nirvana, the actual Kundalini process, which has to do.
Could you explain levels of samadhi and nirvana?
Nirvana.
Samadhi and nirvana.
It's too early to talk about it. But first you get your samadhi, all right, step by step. Step by step. Nirvana is the same as samadhi is. But in nirvana state is the highest that you can achieve in spirituality. All right? So it's step by step we have to move. We can say it is the beginning of nirvana, and then you have to be working it out and you go to nirvana itself, into the complete state. But one thing is definite there, that we have to understand that these words we have read from some books, and the connotation of them, it could be very, very wrong, could be very, very misunderstood. So whatever is the reality, you should face it as reality. You should see it as reality. Not to have any concept about it. Because if you have a concept, then maybe that it might be wrong. So it's better to see for yourself. All right? I think we should have now.
Is it possible for the Kundalini to be raised prematurely? Or does it just rise in its own time?
Prematurely?
When you say prematurely, what do you mean?
Well, I've heard many warnings that Kundalini in certain sectors can be opened before the person is ready for it.
In other words, is it dangerous? There are lots of written warnings that Kundalini can be dangerous?
No, there is no danger at all in Kundalini awakening at all. As I have told you just now, she is your mother. There is no danger. But people must have warned it because they don't want you to get realization, perhaps. Or might have warned because they must have put their hands into some sort of a burning wire, thinking it is the Kundalini. So that must be the reason. So far, we have had thousands and thousands and thousands of people. Nobody has felt anything bad. After all, when you became a human being, what was the danger in becoming human being from a monkey stage? Did you feel the cutting of your tail even? So, after all, you are made a human being for a purpose. And that purpose is to make you the higher being. How can it be troublesome? It is so vitally important. Why should it be troublesome to you? Use logic. If that is the last breakthrough of your evolution, it has to work spontaneously and easily. Now, so there's one more gentleman, but now this is the last, all right? What is the question?
I was just wondering.
Can you get up, please? We can't even see you. Thank you.
I was just wondering, self-realization has to take place in the present life. Do you believe in reincarnation? Whether actually there's a lot of presence?
Does self-realization have to take place in this life, or if you believe in reincarnation, does it take place over a longer period?
Some people are realized in last life, I know. They are born as realized souls also, I know. But I know one thing, that they don't know all about it. Partly they know. They have to know all about it. They have to know all about their powers. They have to know how to raise the Kundalini. They have to know what is missing in their realization. All that they have to know. So now, very simple thing we have to do is, as you know, we have to use the force of the Mother Earth very much. For that, we have to take out our shoes for a very short time. Those who are sitting on the ground just have to take out shoes, that's all, and sit comfortably. So, we have the left and the right, two sides. Left and right sympathetic nervous system. The left caters to our emotional side, and the right to our physical and our mental side. So we put both our feet apart from each other. But those who are sitting on the ground are all right, no problem. Those who are not sitting on the ground, they can sit comfortably, yes. Just folded. Just sit whichever way you like. Folded is better. Be comfortable is the point. Before we start anything else, there are two conditions which you have to fulfill. The first one is that you have to know that you are a human being, and you have to be confident that you will get your realization and that it is your right to get your self-realization. You are not to feel guilty about whatever has happened in the past, because the divine love is the ocean of forgiveness. And whatever mistakes you might have committed can be easily dissolved by that ocean of forgiveness. You must have faith in the power of that ocean. After all, you are a human being, you are not God. And if you have done any mistakes, it's all right. So don't feel guilty. Don't condemn yourselves. Those who have told you are sinners, you should know they must be the greater sinners to say that. Nobody has business to say that to anyone. So please have full confidence in yourself and not to feel guilty. When you feel guilty, then this center here on the back side catches on the left side. And this gives you horrible diseases like angina, lethargic organs, and also spondylitis. So why to feel guilty for nothing at all? If you think you have done mistakes, forget it just now. Second condition is that you have to forgive everyone in general. You don't have to think about people whom you want to forgive. Whether you forgive or don't forgive, you don't do anything. Again, logically, you don't do anything. It's just a myth. But if you don't forgive, then you play into wrong hands. In the sense, those who wanted to torture you or trouble you, they are quite happy, but you are suffering mentally. So the best thing is to forgive everyone in general, not even thinking about any individual whatsoever. This is a very, very important condition. Every time I have seen everywhere that people just don't forgive, and I have to work hard on them. So best is to make my situation better and to make the whole thing work out faster. Please, for my sake, forgive everyone, everyone. These are the two conditions. That's all. I don't need any pillow, right? Yes. Pillows, I don't know. It's too lordly. Now, please put your left hand towards me. And right hand on your heart. The Spirit is residing in your heart. Left hand on your lap, just on your lap, please, comfortably. Now, we are working only on the left hand side with right hand, because right hand is for action and left hand is for desire. So when you put the left hand towards me, you are desiring to have your self-realization, And with the right hand, you are nourishing your centers, yourself raising your own Kundalini. Now take down your right hand in the upper portion of your abdomen on the left hand side. This is the center which all the prophets have created for us, all the great masters have created for our mastery. Mastery over the divine work, divine laws. Now we take down our hand in the lower portion of our abdomen on the left hand side. This is the center of pure knowledge. This knowledge manifests on your central nervous system. This is what is called is Bodh, from where the word Buddha has come, or Ved, from the word Vida, meaning feeling on your central nervous system. As the Gnostic, Gna means to know. Know doesn't mean mentally, but to know on your central nervous system. That's the pure knowledge. Now, you raise your right hand in the upper portion of your abdomen and press it hard on the left hand side. Again, you take your hand onto your heart. Now, please put your right hand in the corner of your neck and your shoulder. And turn your head to your right. This is the center I've told you already is in trouble when you feel guilty. Now please take your right hand onto your forehead across. I have put down your head as far as possible. This is the center where you have to forgive everyone in general. Now take back this right hand on the back side of your head and push back your head. Push back your head as far as possible. Here, without feeling guilty, without counting your mistakes, you have to say, "Oh divine power, please forgive me if I have done anything wrong, knowingly or unknowingly." That I'll tell you later on. Just now I'm telling you the position. Now stretch your palm fully. Put the center of your palm on top of the fontanelle bone area here. And now press it hard. Press down your head. Press it hard. Push back your fingers. And start moving your scalp with a pressure 7 times clockwise. This is important. Push back your fingers. Put down your head fully. And now go on moving your scalp 7 times clockwise. Very slowly. Now take down your hands. Now you have to close your eyes. Before that, you can take out your spectacles, because you are not to open your eyes till I tell you. This might help your eyesight. Now, please remember to put your feet away from each other a little bit. If there's anything tight on your neck or on your waist, you can loosen it a little bit. Now put your right hand on your heart. Here you ask me a very fundamental question. You can call me Shri Mataji or Mother, whatever you like. Mother, am I the spirit? Mother, am I the spirit? Ask this in your heart 3 times. If you are the spirit, then you become your own master, because in the light of the spirit, you see everything clearly. So now, please take your hand, the upper portion of your abdomen on the left hand side, press it hard. Here you have to say, again a question you have to ask me. Mother, am I my own master? Ask this question 3 times. Mother, am I my own master? 3 times in your heart. As I told you, I respect your freedom and I cannot force pure knowledge on you. So, you have to ask for it. Take your right hand in the lower portion of your abdomen on the left hand side. And here you say 6 times because this sentence has got 6 petals. Mother, please give me self-knowledge, or you can say pure knowledge. Mother, please give me pure knowledge. Say it 6 times. Now, raise your right hand. In the upper portion of your abdomen, on the left hand side, as you have asked for pure knowledge, your Kundalini has started moving upward. So we have to nourish these upper centers with self-confidence. So here you say 10 times, Mother, I am my own master. Say it with full self-confidence. 10 times. Mother, I am my own master. I've already told you that the most important truth about is that you are not this body, not mine, not your conditionings, your ego, but you are pure spirit. So now raise your right hand on your heart and say here with full confidence 12 times, Mother, I am the spirit. Please say it 12 times. The divine power is the ocean of knowledge, is the ocean of love, joy and bliss. But above all, it is the ocean of forgiveness. So whatever mistakes you have committed can be easily dissolved by the power of this ocean of forgiveness. So please forgive yourself and raise your right hand in the corner of your neck and your shoulder and turn your head to your right. Here, with full confidence, say 16 times. Mother, I am not guilty at all. Please say that. Mother, I am not guilty at all. I have already told you whether you forgive or don't forgive. You don't do anything. But if you don't forgive, then you play into wrong hands. It's a myth to know that you are not forgiving someone. It's a myth. So please raise your right hand on your forehead across and please put down your head as far as possible. And here, with full confidence, you have to say from your heart. Not how many times, from your heart. Please say it is very important. Mother, I forgive everyone. Don't say I try, just say it with full confidence. Mother, I forgive everyone in general. Now, take back your hand on the back side of your head. Push back your head as far as possible. Here you have to say, without feeling guilty, without counting your mistakes. Just for your satisfaction. From your heart, not how many times. O divine power, if I have done any mistakes, knowingly or unknowingly, please forgive me. Now stretch your right hand. Put the center of your palm on the fontanelle bone area, which was a soft bone in your childhood. Now put down your head as far as possible. Put down. Push back your fingers. Here again, I respect your freedom. I cannot force self-realization on you. You have to ask for it. So now, push back your fingers with a pressure, move your scalp 7 times clockwise, saying 7 times, Mother, please give me self-realization. Now, please take down your hand. If you can close the air conditioning, they would feel it better. Now, please open your eyes and put both the hands towards me like this, like this. Now put the right hand like this. And don't think, you can manage. Now you don't think. Put the right hand. And put down your head. And see with the left hand if there is a cool breeze. Can you get up and show them? If there's a cool breeze coming out of your fontanelle bone area. Now, please put the left hand away from your head, not on top. Away, not very far. Some people get it far also. But just try to feel if there's a cool breeze coming out of your head. Now, please put your left hand towards me like this, like this. And now put down your head. And now see for yourself if there's a cool breeze coming out of your head. There is so much cool breeze. Now feel it with the right hand. Right hand towards me, left hand. You see it clearly if there's a cool breeze coming out of your head, fontanelle bone area. You can move your hand a little bit up and down and see for yourself on sideways. Now, raise both your hands towards the sky. Push back your head and ask a question. Mother, is this the cool breeze of the Holy Ghost? Or ask, Mother, is this the all-pervading power of divine love? Or, Mother, is this the Parama Chaitanya? Ask any one of these questions 3 times, raising your hands. Put down your hands, please. So much of breeze already blowing all over. All those tremendous breeze already blowing all over. It's not air conditioning, for your information. Now those who have felt the cool breeze out of their fontanelle bone area or on their hands or fingertips, please raise both your hands. May God bless you. So many of you have felt it. Some of you have not felt, doesn't matter. Tomorrow again we have a program and I'll explain to you more about the nature of spirit and the nature of these centers. Please inform your friends, everyone to come, and tomorrow hopefully I will meet all of you one by one. Also those who have problems should write them on a piece of paper and their address, and we'll try to contact them and help them as far as possible. Thank you very much. Those who have not felt can come on this side, and the Sahajogis can work it out in 5 minutes, those who have not felt. Because you did not forgive. I know you have not forgiven. If you had forgiven, you would have felt it. Come along this side. Just 5 minutes and they'll give you realization. You felt it? Good. Your problems will be solved now. It's good. You felt it? Which hand you felt? Left you felt, not the right. Doesn't matter. We work it out. It's good. Surprising. Baba, you wanna go? First of all, see on their heads, are you feeling it or not? Just see. They might be saying, they may not be feeling it because of Vishuddhi.
Shall I announce to them?
Yes, yes.
I do quite a lot of heavy yoga, but I have a real problem with my health. I have chronic low energy, and sometimes I really just don't know if I'm doing
You see, this modern Hatha Yoga is most unscientific. It is just done like all the medicines you take from the medicine box without knowing what you need really. So you give up that and come to Sajog and know what's wrong with you and fill yourself with energy. All right? It's all nonsense. It's all nonsense. It has given heart attacks to people. Heart attacks. It's the way they go about. We also do a little bit of Hatha Yoga, but wherever it is necessary. It's not like mad doing all the time that. Now you have a catch on this one, you have a catch on there. 2 centers are very bad important. So you better come to Sahaja Yoga, all right, and fix yourself up. Because Hatha Yoga, nobody reaches God, that's true. But this Hatha Yoga is very limited. A wee bit of it. You see, Patanjali wrote Ashtanga Yoga, out of which this Hatha Yoga that you do is 1/8 of one of them. And that to be is understood with the guidance of the Kundalini. Where is the Kundalini stopping? Whatever center it is stopping, that is the one you have to look after. And that is the one you have to do, that particular asana, for that particular thing. Not all of them like that, Matt. Right?
I thought it was necessary to do the whole combination.
You cannot do it unless and until you start your Kundalini. Once you start your Kundalini, you will know where the problem is. It's like if your car has started, then you will know where is the problem is, isn't it? It's like that.
미팅에서 대학생들 어디 가라고?
Sir, how are you?
Everyone who is here should have one of these pamphlets. And if you look on the back of it, there are a number of areas and telephone contact numbers and names. We have
Your sister,
programs
you're all right now?
in these areas.
She's in Iceland.
You can contact us on this
You
number.
give her her
There's
address.
also a general
You give her
inquiries number.
address to us, we'll contact her. All right. What is she now?
She lives on the terrace.
Iceland?
Yeah, yes. I wondered if I could write her something.
Finland?
Yeah, Finland, they're fair islands. They belong to Denmark and they're isolated.
We are also running a program
Come to
on
and see them, they'll tell you
Sunday
what to do. What's the matter with you?
to help you develop your self-realization.
You're from the Kundalini.
The information is also on the back of the card.
See, they will tell, if you come and see me, or they will tell the question. Then we take send my photograph and tell us to put both the hands on the photograph and both the feet in the water, salt every night. Put my photograph in front of her and then put that in. And put both the hands to the photograph and both the feet in the water. Get it to salt. And throw away the photograph. You follow that. Then you follow that photograph. But first you master this. My son is loving You felt the cool breeze?
Well, I must admit, I'm not sure whether it was a
Better get it.
No, I did. It was like two magnets pushing against each other, like a resistance, you know?
Just forgive. Forgive.
Sorry?
You have to forgive.
I did forgive.
If you don't forgive, how can I forgive for you?
I do feel it, believe me.
Don't forgive yourself, forgive everyone.
I did. I forgave everyone.
You have to forgive yourself. I can't forgive myself.
I wanted to ask you, where do you live in India? Which part of India?
Prior to the whole process, I live in London.
It's a beautiful country. I went there. It's a beautiful country. I went there about a year ago.